All equal, all different. This is the overarching aim of a contemporary educational system. Northern Arctic Federal University, named after Lomonosov, is to become the starting point for enabling access to education to the disabled people and people with health limitation in the Northwestern Federal District. To implement this plan, a new resource center for inclusive education was established at the university in November 2014. The Resource Center for Inclusive Education is an innovative, multifunctional structure aimed at methodological support of students with special educational needs participating in the programs of higher and secondary vocational education. Another aim is to train, retrain and provide opportunities for professional development of special educators and regional specialists in the field of inclusive education. The mission of the Resource Center is to ensure implementation of inclusive vocational education in the Northwestern Federal District. Focus areas in the work of the Resource Center for Inclusive Education are as follows: providing psychological, pedagogical and methodological support of inclusive education, training specialists for implementation of inclusive education, conducting scientific research in the field of inclusive education, and carrying out professional development and professional retraining programs to prepare educators for future work with people having health limitations. One of the priority areas is providing support for students with health limitations. The library building, the location of the Resource Center, is equipped with ramps, stair lifts, building navigation system PARUS or SAIL, as well as assistant code buttons called Pulsar to help blind and visually challenged visitors. People with health limitations are welcome to use lifts, while sound messages and special bracelets help them find their way to the Resource Center for Inclusive Education. Dear guest, you are now standing in the library lobby, next to the cloakroom. The center has at its command innovative special-purpose equipment that allows visually and acoustically impaired people, as well as people with musculoskeletal disorders, access all necessary academic information in a clearly understandable fashion. For visually challenged students, the center offers special solutions including video magnifiers and braille displays, scanning and reading machines, as well as portable players, computers and printers that allow blind people to print out documents and images. This equipment facilitates adaptation of visual information for the needs of blind and visually impaired users. There is a sound lab Sonnet 1 in the center, which is furnished with the acoustic system for hearing-impaired visitors. I'm a student of the Northern Arctic Federal University.
Я учусь в Северном Арктическом федеральном университете.
Students with musculoskeletal disorders visiting the center will enjoy ergonomic desks and armchairs, specialized overlay keyboards and joysticks with the function of a computer mouse.
Студент, обучаясь, может прийти в центр и при подготовке к учебным занятиям.
Any student can come to our center and use the equipment while getting ready for the classes, whereas teachers that are in the position to work with such students can also visit the center to prepare necessary training material or consult our specialists for assistance concerning peculiarities of such students. The NARFU Resource Center is an essential component of training specialists in the fields of pedagogical, special and inclusive education in 3 bachelor programs and 2 special-purpose master programs. Students have the opportunity to get acquainted with the specialized equipment and gain experience in operating it, while at the same time mastering skills needed for work with children with health limitations. The center also holds practical trainings and laboratory classes for students. The center houses instruction and research laboratories, including the Laboratory of Psychological and Pedagogical Support of Inclusive Education, the Laboratory of Troubled Childhood, and the Laboratory of Hearing Aids and Speech Improvement. The Laboratory of Hearing Aids and Speech Improvement boasts logopedic training equipment and special software for comprehensive correction of different aspects of spoken and written language, specifically for people with hearing impairments. The Laboratory of Troubled Childhood deals with emotional and volitional problems by making use of the sensory room, which is designed for improvement of higher cortical functions, as well as for psychorelaxation and rehabilitation. Color and light are first and foremost here. These two categories are widely exploited in psychology and have huge impact on psychological development of a human being. Contemporary educational system implies that every teacher in Russia shall develop expertise in the area of inclusive training. The NARFO Resource Center for Inclusive Education is a regional forum destined to implement professional development programs of this kind.
Сюда приходят педагоги, имеющие уже соответствующее образование.
Teachers who already possess the appropriate degree come here to be trained on how to get involved in the inclusive educational process and how to implement the inclusive strategies. They prepare to accept children, pupils and students in an educational institution and properly organize their learning process.
В образовательном учреждении.
Professional development programs comprise programs on introduction of inclusive educational process to preschool and general educational institutions, as well as to secondary and higher vocational educational organizations. Professional development programs on employment of specialized equipment in the inclusive educational process. And training programs for inclusion coordinators in an educational institution. Teachers who work in different educational institutions can master their professional skills here. They can visit the center and embrace the opportunity to become familiar with the equipment. They can operate it and afterwards use this experience while working with children, while teaching kids with health limitations in school. International and national scientific research is held at the premises of the center. It participates in international projects together with its networking partners, the University of Lapland, the University of Aberdeen, and the National University of Mongolia. Academic integration with foreign partners provides for creating common space for information and education in the Cholarctic region, aimed at effective interaction between children with special needs and their typically developing peers. Moreover, the elaboration of methodological and educational packages explaining issues of inclusive education to teachers and parents is in full swing.
Прецедентная ситуация.
This is a landmark situation and a very successful experience, since few universities in Russian Federation are now open in such centers and accumulating such resources, which they are ready to share. This is surely a brand new area that NARFO is cultivating here, and I think they are bound to succeed. The current estimated number of children with health limitation in the Arkhangelsk region is 13,000. 4,000 of them are officially considered disabled. Development of inclusive education system will help to accelerate the process of their socialization, and the Resource Center for Inclusive Education at the Northern Arctic Federal University can make the solution to this problem a little bit closer.